Today we're going to be going over the Aiper Scuba S1 and the Aiper Seagull Pro. It seems to be a common question, which one of these two robots should I get? Both of these robots from Aiper are both in the mid-range price level of what they offer. They're typically around the same price. However, a lot of people seem to think that the Seagull Pro is an upgrade from the Aiper Scuba S1, but I'm here to let you guys make that decision. First of all, when it comes to the Aiper Scuba S1, it has 70 gallons per minute of suction, while the Seagull Pro has 120 gallons per minute of suction. That's almost double the suction with the Seagull Pro. But me personally, I don't find the extra suction all that necessary. Just from looking at both of these two pool cleaning robots, you're going to notice that the Aiper Scuba S1 seems to be a much lower profile and is on tracks rather than tires. The Seagull Pro has a much wider wheelbase, but it's also short. The Seagull Pro, I find, so the Seagull Pro does have more suction than the Scuba S1. You'll also notice that both of them have these huge scrubbing brushes on the front of them. This is to stir up debris as well as brush your pool at the exact same time. They're also different in the way they start. The Seagull Pro has a knob that is twisted on the top, while the Scuba S1 has a button that you press to cycle through the different functions. I personally find that the knob on the Seagull Pro can get stuck from time to time, especially if you do not rinse it well. While the Scuba S1, there are never any issues cycling through its cleaning modes. Both robots also feature a typical plug-in style charger, not a docking station, though I find that the Scuba S1 is a little bit more updated than the Seagull Pro, which it should be given that the Scuba S1 is a newer model than the Seagull Pro. The Seagull Pro was one of Aiper's first big wall climbing robots. Now when it comes to the cleaning modes between these two robots, the Scuba S1 has 4 different cleaning modes, while the Seagull Pro only has 3 different cleaning modes, both of which have wall and bottom, wall only, or bottom only. Now whenever it's doing a wall cycle, it is also going to clean your water line on both of these robots, but the Scuba S1 does have one feature, one more cycle, that I really enjoy a lot, and that is economy mode. In economy mode, the Scuba S1 can be left at the bottom of the pool for up to a week on one charge, where this robot will actually turn itself on and off for 45 minutes every other day, maintaining your pool, for instance, if you go out of town. While the Seagull Pro does not have this feature. After its cycle is complete, it must be removed and recharged. I also find that the Aiper Scuba S1, being on tracks, has a major advantage over the Seagull Pro. The tracks allow this robot to basically never get stuck. I mean, this thing goes over drains, it hops up on top of the steps. No matter what, this robot never gets stuck. While I find that the Seagull Pro here is virtually useless if you have raised drains in the back of the pool. This thing does require flush drains that are flush with the bottom of the pool. In my pool, the Seagull Pro gets stuck every single cycle on the raised drains. In that manner, I never recommend this to anybody unless they have flush drains. And when it comes to cleaning the water line of a pool, whenever a pool robot goes up the wall of the pool and starts scrubbing that water line, they all have one thing in common. The wheels are continuously spinning in order to hold themselves up at waterline level. I find that the tracks are also a major advantage there when it comes to liner wear. I find that the wheels or tires on the Seagull Pro are a little rough, and they could eventually cause wear on a liner, and in some cases on a lighter concrete pool, potentially marks on the plaster of your pool. But for the most part, it's typically safe. This is just something that comes with tons and tons of uses. You may notice some wear on the pool with the Seagull Pro. Now I will say, in the basket department, the Scuba S1 and Seagull Pro do have very large baskets. The Scuba S1 inserts by lifting the lid over the front of the robot, while the Seagull Pro, it lifts up from the rear. And I have found that the Seagull Pro is a little difficult to get snapped into place, while the Scuba S1's lid snaps back into place effortlessly. Now, One other thing when it comes to these two robots is tanning shelves. People ask me on a regular basis, will this robot clean my tanning shelf? And you never really know. It really ultimately depends on the depth of your tanning shelf. They say typically you need 18 inches. But this Scuba S1 will definitely clean shallower than that. The Scuba S1 is going to be able to clean a shallower tanning ledge than the Seagull Pro, and that is because the pump in the Scuba S1 is actually located much lower than the two pumps on the Seagull Pro. The Seagull Pro will more quickly grab air whenever it's cleaning a tanning shelf. Both of these robots will climb the steps in your pool. However, I do find that the Seagull Pro is more likely to get stuck if it ever makes it onto the top step of your pool. For instance, if you have a higher water level after a rain. While the Scuba S1 may hang around that step a little while, but it will eventually find its way off the steps and continue cleaning. With all of these variables taken into consideration, I do find that the Scuba S1 is far superior to the Seagull Pro. Not just in terms of cleaning, even though it has less suction, I do find that the Scuba S1 does have a higher performance clean, and that it does stay on track and on topic throughout its clean better than the Seagull Pro. Also in the sense that Scuba S1 has economy mode while the Seagull Pro does not. In terms of how the robot is actually built, I find that the Seagull Pro's on and off knob to switch between different cleaning modes is much more likely to fail than the toggle button here on the Scuba S1 that allows you to effortlessly change between different cleaning modes. So overall, I recommend that you purchase a Scuba S1. I do think that it is the most bang for your buck out of any wall climbing pool robot on the market that's cordless today. But if you really value the Seagull Pro's suction amount, the Seagull Pro is a good option for you if and only if you guys do not have raised main drains and do not have a very complicated pool. But all that being said, I'm going to have the links to both of these robots down at the description for you to ultimately decide whether you'd like a Scuba S1 or a Seagull Pro, but I think the answer is pretty straightforward.